Not romping around. Hi, I'm Debbie. No spice for schools. The Some Like It DJ set to talk to teens, but church group takes issue over sending the wrong message, and Spice taking it all with good grace.
Spice breezing in for a 2-week series of motivational appearances at high schools. A lot of it around resisting some of the negative messages teens are bombarded with on social media.
Because I've lived it, so I know it, and I've resisted. So who better to tell them that you can do it too?
Only for some of those same schools to start to cancel. The plug apparently pulled over objections from a church group concerned about her raunchy image. Spice, like Lady saw before her, no stranger to dancehall's more X-rated extremes. In a career now spanning 25 years, she's broadened her scope to include a long-running presence in the reality television series Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
I'm always happy to help a female artist who's on the rise.
They film for 10 long months. So that's why most of my time I'm in Atlanta. As me get a break, me dey back at Jamaica.
On Wednesday, the DJ dismissed any notion that she would have performed her music in schools.
So when I was listening to the Apostle speak, he kept talking about Spice, all her videos and her songs, and I'm like, I'm not doing a performance. This is me going into the school and talking to the kids, trying to encourage them to say no to anything that kind of devalues them. So I was a bit confused. I guess people don't know how to differentiate Grace Hamilton from Spice.
Do you think if you were a man, maybe you wouldn't get the flack all the time for being raw and X-rated?
Well, the evidence is out there with male artists that is even more slack and X-rated and sing about certain type of songs that is also out there, and I've seen them perform on a lot of school tours. So I'm not sure where this fight is coming from, but it's evident.
She says her foundation has given away millions to school kids, that it's something she always does, and was actually in Ghana recently, where there doesn't seem to have been any objections to her visiting educational institutions in the West African country, donating uniforms and imparting a positive message.
I went to St. Catherine High. I gave them $1 million to go towards the performing arts because I was also in the performing arts group. So to have this pastor come up against me, why would you want to go against something that is so good?
Ready if you wind up, me body coming no wagwan.
Spice known for being feisty, no one's dancehall doormat. But this time, she seems to have taken the negative turn of events with unusually good grace.
Yes, because I'm tired of fighting. I'm just at this place where, okay, if the schools are iffy about it, I'm not forcing anything. I'm doing this willingly from my heart, by myself, as a single woman, like, I'm trying to help here. I don't understand why I should fight to help.
And sort of deja vu. Rewind to 2016. The GG and the PM at a star-studded tribute to Jamaican athletes. But Spice's set too hot to handle.
What's going on?
Her flamboyant dancehall persona then, like now, getting flack.
I feel like sometimes there's a particular, maybe a group of people that is trying to poke me to speak out on these things all the time to make it seem like, okay, here we go again, Spice is in another controversy. And that is why I want to leave it.
Beyond brouhaha, Spice focused on celebrating her long run in the business.
I started in 1999, so you know, so I start from a long time, and I'm celebrating 25 years, and that's what I'm focused on. I'm celebrating that milestone because that is not a small thing, that's a very big thing.
And for a while now, it's been you and before you ladies saw as the leading ladies of dancehall. Who is next in line?
Next in line after me? Whoa, you have a heap of people, you know. You know the funny thing, that's a great question because back in the days when we used to do interview, there wasn't no one that I could mention, but there's so much names that we can mention right now. So I have to big up the woman them in our music because there's a lot of females that's doing extremely great. So if you want me to name names, you have to talk about Jada Kingdom, Shensia, Pampote, Shanian Muir. Everybody is super talented and doing great.
Are those names that you're mentioning, though, carving out the kind of space you carved out back in the day in terms of reaching a wider audience and
absolutely.
Making your stamp internationally?
Oh, absolutely. Internationally, there's a lot of female that's doing great. Shensia, Jada Kingdom, doing great internationally. When you go overseas, they're all over the world. Music space has a lot of potential when it comes to female right now that is coming up.
Fresh out of prison and I make more money than enough artists when they are roadblock, girl.
Spice, of course, at Freedom Street, not romping around.
So if we talk about the king of dancehall, we have to talk about the world boss. Yeah, the world boss is out and him free. So now that he's out on such a great concert and the turnout and the whole look of it on the international scene when I'm overseas, that's all people talking about. So I feel like dancehall, since Kartel is back, dancehall is back.
Was Kartel done a disservice when some DJ started cussing the promoters at his show?
Anthony, you're not gonna mix me up. This.
No, it's a good question.
It's a good question, but Jamaica me have to ask.
What you thought about that when you heard that happened?
I was right there when it happened. It was a little bit of inconvenience, and I understand on both sides because
inconvenience, is that the word?
Inconvenience that it happened at that time when we should be celebrating such a milestone with Kartel being out. And I'm sure that's not the intention that Popcorn had. But when you lock out a man 3 hours and him there at the gate and him stand up and him can't come in, that build up a lot of frustration and embarrassment. I too was at the gate and couldn't come in, and I feel I go up on my phone and I call and I say, yo, what happened? So you see, sometimes when people aren't able to see the backstage things, then they just react off of that second that they see, and sometimes that's why us as artists have to just be careful and not show our emotions there and then.
So the promoters could have dealt with the whole thing of organizing how artists get to the stage a little differently.
Oh, I personally can tell Scatter that because I heard Scatter say out of mouth, say him give Popcorn 100 tickets. So if you say out of your mouth, you give Popcorn 100 tickets, then you are expecting him to come with 100 people, right or wrong, I don't know. But that's what I heard. So I just feel like it should have, been more organized. Say, all right, say Popcorn come with 100 man, receive the 100 man when him come with it. So I don't know what was the hell up, but I'm speaking from a place of me being there and also I was locked out as well. So I think that there was tight security, and the reason why I want to share a little clarity that I understand both sides, because on Scatter and Down Sound side, they had to have strict security because of Kartel.
If I'm hearing right, Kartel has got back his US visa. You see yourself joining him on stage when he hits the road, possibly also in the US?
Oh, absolutely. From Kartel anyway, with them foot, we join on. Yeah, me, him, and see them.
What's the biggest mistake you think you've made in your career, if indeed you feel you did make a mistake?
I don't know if I want to say it's a mistake, because losses are lessons, and everything that you go through in life, they teach you something. But the only thing I feel like I would have done differently if I got a chance was some of the people them I met, I would have never meet them. Would have unmeet some of them. I said that you asked me. That's the truth.
But meeting somebody or not.
Some of them never deserve my time. Some of them never need to meet me. Some of them, if you see them and walk past them. People are just one of my biggest regrets. It's just the truth.
And maybe going back to this preacher guy earlier, this man of the cloth earlier who objected to your school tour, maybe you did press some of those buttons a little too much, that the content of your music is really so raw and so explicit sometimes that it has a negative effect on the fabric of life in Jamaica, on those young girls that you care about.
Well, to break it down a little bit, you see, when the pastor was talking about me, he was speaking on the brand Spice and my music videos, which means he's watching them. He spoke about them word for word. He spoke about all my moves. He spoke about every action that I did. He likes it. He was watching it. He's a fan. He's just trying to be political correct for the people, because how do you know so much about Spice? And so I will never go back and say, oh, I don't like So Me Like It. So Me Like It was the first dancehall song to get 100 million views in dancehall in the space. It was the song that opened up a lot of opportunities for me. It took me traveling all over the world. Dancehall is an aggressive genre. It has molded me into who I am. I will never go back and say I regret anything that I did in the past. What I do want people to realize is that Grace Hamilton is a human, and I'm a a person, and that Spice is a persona, an image that I take on. That is an adult entertainer, and I will never regret that.
Whatever anyone says about Spice, she's a pro. Packaged and poised, and with a steely commitment to her community and her brand.
Because that's what takes care of not just me, but my entire family, which is why I tell people all the time, when you see me come out and I speak out about my brand, it's not just for me, it's for an entire community. Because, you know, I'm taking care of my entire family, and not just my family, but other families depend on me as well. And so as long as my career is okay, and I'm alive and well, and my kids are my priority, I'm good.
Next week, Spice and her own political party. Was she serious?
Me I go run for MP. Me I tell her because me have to go do it.